Hi, this is Robert Batlle, and you're listening to the No Name RC podcast. Hola, soy Robert Batlle y tú estás escuchando the No Name RC podcast.
Nitro is the glory. Welcome to the No Name RC podcast with your host tonight, Keenan White, aka Lefty the Great, and if you are unlucky, the Finnish village idiot, JQ. This is the RC podcast with no name but plenty of content. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some serious bench racing.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the No Name RC podcast. I'm your main man, Lefty, and I'm your host for tonight. This is our 5th episode. I'm really stoked about this. I mean, I didn't think we was going to make it to 5 episodes, so I'm excited. And our last podcast with Jared Tebow was well received. Thank you to everybody that sent me positive comments and enjoyed it. We're almost up to 1,000 downloads on that, so please, if you haven't heard it, go check us out on iTunes or Podbean and download the Jared Tebow podcast and the Max podcast, because that's really good too. So thank you to everybody. And thank you to Jared as well for coming on and doing that with us. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad he's racing next year. So we'll get him on when he makes his decision on what he's going to race. That would be fun. So that's awesome. But this is our second installment of the Legends of RC. And it's actually a really good guest from Spain. He's the 2012 World Champion. He's, I believe, a 3-time World European Champion with 3 different car brands. Generally, I would say one of the best 8-scale drivers in the world at the moment, or will go down as one of the best ever. Mr. Robert I'm not going to say his last name because I'm going to ask him how to say his name properly when we do get him on board, because I know how to say his name, but I want him to let everybody know how to say his name. So, awesome. Big shout out to all my JQ Racing family from around the world, because without you guys, this would not be possible. Remember, JQ Racing, be a part of a team, not just a number. Shout out to Brent Densford, JQ Racing USA, Beach RC. Gonna see you in a couple of days because I'm off to Myrtle Beach for Fall Brawl 2K18. That's going to be great. I fly out on Wednesday, drive up to Myrtle Beach with Mike Walkers and Mitch Zach, Trent and Jake, and then meet up with all the rest of the JQ East Coast squad that's coming to the race, and hopefully we get to race. It looks like it's going to rain, but we will see. It's a great race last year, and I'm looking forward to it, so that's going to be awesome. Shout out to Jerome Chambon, Donuts RC, RC Streamline, and JQ Racing Europe. I believe the website will be in English soon, so all of our European JQ drivers can order from him. And if you're interested in being on the JQ Europe team, shoot us an email. But most of all, I want to say thank you to all of our Patreon supporters, because without you guys, we could not do this. The No Name RC podcast would not exist. I mean, we're getting better equipment in, and we're trying to up our quality of our podcast. And that can only be done through you guys. So, with that said, if you're a Patreon supporter, you'll probably get this podcast 2 days before the general public. So we're giving early access to our Patreon supporters. We're also looking at getting some No Name RC podcast swag done, t-shirts, decals, hats, and some other cool products to give away to our Patreon supporters. So, if you're not a Patreon supporter, please, if you can, go and you like what we're doing, go support us at patreon.com/thequagrain. It also helps, and a few other projects that we have going on at JQ Racing that will benefit everybody in RC, not just JQ racers. The app, setup book, setup app, stuff like that we're looking at doing. So for the price of a cup of coffee, you can help us out. Every little bit counts. And I'm excited to say we actually have a sponsor. This is cool. Like, I didn't think this would happen, like, at all. Like, who's going to sponsor me for rambling on about nonsense in RC? But someone decided to do it. And we're actually making a segment. It's called the 10 questions, 10-second segments. So basically, we're going to ask our guests 10 questions. They have to answer at the top of their head and within a couple of seconds. And it's not just RC related, so it can be anything that's going on. And that's brought to you by Fast Race, the Italian company that produces carbon fiber and the carbon fiber parts and the world famous honeycomb shock bladders. Their drivers include David Ongaro and Riccardo Berton, and they are specialists in creating innovative performance-enhancing parts for 8-scale buggies. So get this, you also get a discount. So go to fastraceshop.com, type in Lefty 2019 in all caps, and you get 15% off your purchase. So go check them out. Use our discount code and save yourself some money and rock some Italian products, man. It's awesome. Like, it's like having a little bit of Ferrari on your 8-scale buggy, I guess. But with that said, that segment we'll be doing with Robert later on as well. But let's welcome our guest tonight. Bienvenidos. Muchas gracias para venir. You guys didn't know Lefty can speak Spanish. But welcome, Robert. How are you, man?
Yeah, hello everybody. Just chilling a little bit here at home now.
Yes, after a long Worlds, I would expect that you're chilling out at home. I don't blame you. So in case you guys didn't know, this is Robert Batlle. He's like 30 years old. He's been around RC for a long time. Since how old you was in RC, Robert?
Yeah, I started when I was 12.
Okay.
I mean, pretty late, I think, because now the kids started with like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But yeah, on 1999, I made a few races, but the first whole year was on 2000.
Yeah, it seems like you, I was talking to Thibaut the other day. He started around the same time as you, and like Cavallari and those guys did as well.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
Oh, a lot of noise, Robert.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Okay, but first off, before we start, I want everybody to know your name and how to pronounce your last name. A lot of people say Battle. They say
Yeah.
they just mess it right up. Like, so tell us how to pronounce your last name, please.
Yeah, it's Batlle.
Batlle. You heard that, everybody?
Yeah.
Not Battle, not Battaglia, not.
Yeah.
It's Batlle.
Yeah, it's Batlle.
So the
Yeah,
world.
I know. I understand it's a little difficult, so I don't say. I say anything to the ones who say battle or whatever.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but the
Yeah,
world knows.
Bat-
The world knows now. Batlle.
yeah,
So you're chilling out in Barcelona, right? You live in Barcelona, correct?
yeah. I live. I mean, in a small town on like 10 kilometers something from Barcelona. It's called Sabadell,
Okay.
but it's just close to Barcelona, really close.
Now, I'm not familiar, but Barcelona has a few tracks, correct?
Right now we don't have much. I mean, I have 2 close at home. I have one at like 10 minutes more or less, and the other one it's around 20.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, I mean, one of those, the one which is inside Barcelona, it's quite nice. It's just layout. It's similar as we are doing now.
Okay.
And the other one, which is 10 minutes at home, it's quite old school layout. I mean, I like it because it was similar as when I started.
Yes.
But sometimes if I have to prepare some race or whatever, it's quite difficult to understand the setups and tires and everything because it's just not used to drive on that kind of tracks for the international races now. So
Understandable. Well, let's touch on 2018 Worlds. You just come off of that. That's 2 weeks in Australia.
yeah.
Let's get your thoughts on that. On basically, like I've asked every driver that's been on the event organization, the watering, the track layout, 10 days of practice. How do you feel about all of that? How was it?
I mean, first of all, I was good there. I mean, I had fun a lot. We rent a house with some friends and we had fun really a lot. But the race itself, from a point of view, it was maybe way too long. I mean, like 10, 12 days there. It's just completely too much. we were some days like 12 hours in the track and we drove only 10 minutes. So for me, it's quite a waste of time. Even for the private people, I mean, they pay all travel and expenses and so on, and they can drive only 10 minutes, maximum 20. So I think it's not the way to go just to have fun for the people. I mean, the people likes to drive, so they don't like to get bored in the track. But I mean, it's something that we have to work on it. And also about the water thing, the walls in Las Vegas, it was more fair, I think, because they water each round, each hit, so we all have the same track more or less. But this time was like quite difficult. One time it was so water, the other time was so dry, then it was okay, then not. So it was quite difficult to understand the track. I mean, from our side, it was not bad. We were almost all time on top 5, so it was okay. But
Correct.
for the people and privaters and everything, I think it was quite difficult to understand about when I drive in a wet condition at, I don't know, like 20 degrees Celsius, and then after like 6 hours, I'm gonna drive on a wet condition, but with a 5 degrees Celsius. It was like too different. So I don't know, just difficult.
Yeah. What did you think of the actual track layout and the organization that put it together?
Organization was good. I mean, the thing of water and so on, it's more Ifmar who has to push and to know and to say what to do. I mean, the organizers made a great job.
Yes.
Also, the layout for me was super fun, one of the best I've been. So I mean, they had jumps, they had technical parts, they had fast corners, slow corners, they had everything. Also, the dirt was good all time. There was not so much bumpy. It was flat, good grip. So I mean, for me, it was one of the best tracks.
Yeah, so it sounds like you enjoyed the track. Everybody that I've talked to really enjoyed the track. I haven't really heard anything negative about the track. Mostly it's about the watering.
Yeah, sure.
And obviously, I think the people behind the scenes, the club actually done a really good job. Even though I wasn't there, but everything ran smoothly, so I can't say anything about it. How did you feel during qualifying and your final? I mean,
As I said, on qualifying, it was good. We were almost top 5 every time. Sometimes I was really close to the TQ, but I had some mistakes. So, I mean, I was pretty confident and I was good. Then on semi-final, we were okay, not super nice, but still number 5, I think, on the starting grid for the final.
correct.
But then, I mean, on the semi-final practice, we wanted to test the medium compound and the hard compound. And it started to rain a lot, so we couldn't test the 2 compounds. So for the final, we saw the semi-final tires and it was okay, so we could make 1 hour with the medium compound. So we decided to start with the medium compound. Also because the temperature is supposed to be colder, so we said, okay, we go with the medium compound and it would be good. But we failed a little bit because it was too soft. The first 10 minutes was good. I was behind the top 3. I was just quite confident. I was going soft, not pushing too much to overheat the tires. But the temperature started to went up and the tires started to be overheated, and my final was done after like 15 minutes. But even though we tried to, we did our best. We made everything we could. So I'm happy on that side for sure. It could be better. We could win. We could finish second or third, whatever. But we made the best possible, and I think we were in the final. We have already, I think, 7 finals in the world. So
Really, that's impressive.
Yeah, it's quite a long time. I think I'm the driver with the more finals in the world ever. So, I mean, it seems nothing, but 7 years means
It's a lot of work.
years.
It's a lot of work.
14 years always at the top, always fighting for the win. So I'm happy to this, and I hope to repeat in 2 years.
You're still young, dude. You got lots of time. It was funny because I was like I've watched you race. Like I watched you race at DNC. I watched you race at Montpellier earlier this year as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, when is he gonna make that infamous Batlle comeback, which you do at like 30 minutes, 35 minutes, and you just come out of nowhere. And
Yeah.
I was still confident of that, but then once I saw David walking away, I was like, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it was because of that. I mean, I decided to put medium compound for sure. With harder would be better, but now it's easy to talk when
Yes.
everything is finished. But this is racing. I mean, sometimes you have to try to push and to make different things from others to try to win.
Yes.
Sometimes you do it and sometimes you fail. So it's just something that can happen sometimes. But I mean, the thing is, we were there, we were fighting, and we were in the final. We finished sixth. I know it's not the best result we can achieve, but we're quite happy of the all week.
Yeah, I think you should. I mean, obviously you want to do better. It's called racing. It's not called winning. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure Nicola's happy for Hot Race, and
Yeah,
that's
for
good for
sure.
them. Really good people. So I mean, I would have liked to have seen you win or get a top 3, but next year. I mean, in 2 years' time. So that's how
Yeah,
it
for
works.
sure. I'm sure.
What do you think about David's win? I think it was great.
Yeah, Davide. I mean, since mainly like June from this year, May, June from this year, he started to go super fast. I mean, he was pretty fast. I mean, on this race, he was not fast. I mean, of course, he was fast. He was in the final and he won. But he was not faster than I was or than, I don't know, like Ronefalk or Tasman or whatever. But he was so much consistent than us.
Okay.
And it makes him that win super deserved. I mean, he has been super fast all year, so he had to win it.
Yes.
He had to make it. It's not. I mean, it's just one race. So, as I always said, I won a world championship, and I don't feel like a proper world champion. I mean, it's just one race. It's difficult to describe a world champion right now because it's only one race. It's quite difficult. But he won. He's one of the fastest already. He's 17, so for sure he has plenty of time and years to win another one, or at least to fight for a win like the next 10 or 12 worlds. So yeah, for sure he will be super fast, and that kind of shit things that some people try to put on his name. It was.
You mean the gyro drama, like they tried to do to you guys at
Yeah.
DNC this year as well?
It was so bad. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want even to waste so much time on that. I said already on some Facebook post, and I answered to so many people. It's just useless to talk about that.
I agree.
He was more consistent than us. I mean, he was not having 1 second fastest laps than us. It was like same fastest lap as most of us. He was just more consistent. So what we have to do is just not to write bullshits and just head down and try to work more for the next races and try to beat him and the other ones. I mean, anyone remember about the Tasman era like 2 years ago that he won almost everything in 1 year?
Yep.
But anyone said about he was racing gyro.
Of course.
He was fast. It was his time, and that's all. I mean, I had my time also, and I was not driving gyro. And now Davide is his time, and he deserved that win. It's just easy.
I agree. I think it seems to be the thing when the Europeans come over and they're a little bit faster, it's always a gyro. I mean, we saw that at DNC this year. So
yeah, it happened same on the DNC. It was just a shame. I mean, some Tasman, for example, won the Worlds in Italy.
yeah.
So he won in Europe. So that means he was driving gyro? No, for sure not. I even didn't think about it.
Of course.
I mean, we are professionals. I don't think. I mean, it's fair play. I mean, I don't think anyone would use gyro here.
It's
It's just stupid.
I don't even. I'm looking forward to. I think Joseph's going to test them out and see if they actually work. They might actually help him because he kind of sucks, but it'd be interesting to see what happens. But
Yeah.
let's move on. You mentioned about your early years in RC. You started when you was 12.
Yeah.
I remember you were on Hobao first. I think you was actually a
Yeah.
teammate with Joseph for a little while.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. We were teammates quite a long time
yeah,
on Hobao.
you won your first Euros with
Yeah, 2007
yeah, where
in France.
was that at what track was that?
Auxerre.
Auxerre?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was super nice track.
Yeah.
Fast, typical French.
Yeah.
It was super fast. I love it.
Yeah, how was your time at Hobao? Where did you finish up on the Hyper 8 series or the Hyper 7? I can't remember.
Yeah, I finished on Charlotte 2008 with the Hyper 8.5, just when they realized the Hyper 9.
Okay.
And yeah, the time there was super good. I mean, they helped me a lot. Since we started with my dad on, as I told you, like 2000. On 2001, on December 2001, we quit RC. If I have to be sincerely, we just went out from RC because my dad had no more money to me
Right.
for the RC. So we were like 1 month out of RC since Hobao and Muela from Spain came to us and said like, I heard that you left RC, but I have a proposal to you. We will help you and we will pay your expenses and travels and everything and like spare parts and so on. But you have to help us to develop the car and just drive with it everywhere and blah blah blah. So I said, why not? We have no car and that car seems good, so we tried. And thanks to that and to Hobao, I'm here now already.
Pretty much. I mean, a lot of people may not remember Hobao, a lot of these younger guys, but
Yeah.
they were pretty big, like Paul Coleman and Offna in America.
Yes.
Jabbing.
Yeah. They
Jab-
were super big.
Yeah. Then you had the
But then,
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, but then they changed to the Hyper 9
Yeah.
and everything seemed to go bad and they finally
Yeah.
not quit because they are making still RC cars,
Yeah.
but I think they are working more now on mini bikes or something like this.
Yeah, they still have some. They actually have some. I think a guy in Spain actually or Italy
Yeah, like
drives one.
Bernabe is going
Yeah.
with Hobao now. So,
Yeah.
I know.
Maybe he should drive a JQ. I don't know, but I don't know. Okay, so then you left Hobao. You spent I think what? How many years did you spend at Hobao? I don't have it in my notes here.
Hobao it was like 2002 to 2008.
So 6 years with
Yeah,
Hobao.
6 years.
Then you
Yeah.
made the switch to AE, and that was only for like a year. I remember when that happened.
2 years.
2
It was
years.
2009, 2010.
Okay, and that's kind of like you. I'm not you. I don't know what happened in those 2 years. I think you didn't win any. Did you win a Euro as well? Right? Oh, I can't remember.
No, I made second in the Euros, and I was on the World's final in Thailand.
Okay.
Yeah, on that final, I flame out on the semi-final. On the starting grid, I lost almost one lap, and I just bumped up to the final. So it was so hard, but I couldn't do it. I could do it. But it was, I mean, nice years also. The problem it was that car was not as good as the one they have now.
No, I remember that car.
Yeah, and also, I mean, the sales were not good, and finally we decided to split, and I moved to Mugen in
Yes.
2011.
2011 Mugen, and it's been history ever since. You've bought them 2 Euro championships, 1 World
Yeah.
Championship,
Yeah.
many other wins in Europe. You've came over, finished second at DNC this year, behind David. I mean, behind Runafault.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty impressive. Very
Yeah, I mean,
impressive.
I love that car. I love the brand. I love the people behind, all family, and I mean, I can't be better, sincerely. I'm super happy here since I met all of them in 2011, and I don't really think I would change. I mean, you can never say never.
Mm-hmm.
but I'm so happy here, so I don't think I would change from that family.
I got you. I understand. I think most people that drive Mugens, they end up staying there. I mean, my first car ever was the MBX4, my first 8-scale car, way back in
Good car.
like 1995. So,
Yeah.
you know, I think I always liked Mugens. That's what I was driving before I started working for JQ. So,
Yeah.
I think they're good cars, and I think I mean I think you're pretty. I can say you're Mugen's number one driver. I would say at this point. I mean, you and Mayfield are about neck and neck.
Yeah.
But I think for the current platform, I think you have found you've got become more comfortable with it. You've got more wins on it or more top 5 finishes, and I mean Mayfield's
Yeah,
there as well.
I'm-
But
I mean, I don't like, from my point of view, I don't like to talk much about who is the 1 or 2 or 3 or a team or whatever. I mean, we all have our spot. We all have our role here in the team. So it's not about who is the most important or whatever. It's just any of us has the importance on that point or on that place or Europe or USA or whatever. But yeah, what we have to do is just work as a team, just be together and just move on and try to make the better races we can do. So that's the important.
well, I think they have a great team.
Yeah.
With you, Mayfield, Adam, Canas
Yeah,
coming up behind you as well.
Canas.
Yes, very good, very good. So I think it's going to be formidable. They're going to be a formidable team for the next few years. So I don't think there's any worries there. So let's talk about you when you became 100% professional and decided you can do this for a living and make this a career. What time?
Yeah.
How old was you when you did that?
100% professional. I would say I was when I finished my career. I mean, I was in the university and I made my degree of management, and I finished when I was the year I won the Worlds in 2012. It was my first year completely focused on RC.
Okay.
So it was 2012. So when I was 24. And I mean, since then, yeah, I mean, I got money from brands, and it was almost professional, but not completely focused 100% on the RC. Just because I wanted to make my degree, I wanted to make school, university, and so on first, and then just started on RC.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why at the beginning maybe I was not as fast as later on, but I prefer that. I mean. I think all choices are good, but if I feel better just making university and so on, it was my decision, so it was good.
Yes. Good man. Finish school. School's important.
Yeah.
So I remember you opened up the RB Track and Shop for a couple of years. Was it because you loved RC or because you felt that you needed a second income at the time? I mean,
No, for sure. For sure it was because I love RC. It was not a big track here next to my home.
yes.
So I decided to make an indoor track just with a hobby shop and so on. I mean, the thing I would like to have when I was a kid. So we decided to do it. We put tons of money there. And sadly, we lost everything. But at least we tried. It was not, maybe it was not the time, maybe it was not the right place, I don't know.
Yeah.
But at least I tried, which is the important. For sure, so many people said like, oh, I knew it was not the right point or the right decision, blah, blah, blah. But all of them, they just say it on the sofa, you know?
Of course,
So
of course.
it's just, you have to try it, you have to make it happen. I tried. I told you we lost so much money, but I'm not, I mean, if I go 5 years back, I would did it again.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's good.
I'm confident with it. I mean, sometimes you have to lose. It makes you also stronger. So now I did it. I feel good with myself. Sincerely, I didn't want to die without having that kind of track. So I did it. I saw that it was not the time or not the right place or the right way to do it. I lost money, but at least I'm good with myself, which is important more than the money we lost.
Yeah, I remember when it opened, it was really an awesome facility, like indoor track, place to eat. I believe it had a 10 scale track too, or
At the beginning it was like a 1/10 AstroTurf track and 1/10 touring carpet track, and then we changed it to the 1/8 dirt track. But I mean, it was not.
Why do you think it failed ultimately? Do you think it was just not enough people to support it?
Yeah, not enough people to support. Also, prices for the rent, it was quite high, and I don't know. It was a mix of everything. I can't say exactly what was, but that's life. I mean, sometimes you win and sometimes you fail. So
Yep, but I mean, you're still a professional RC racer, so you're still living part of your RC dream, and there's always time to try it again when hopefully the hobby grows more, because that's what we have to do is grow the hobby. So
yeah, for sure.
any advice for young drivers? I mean, I don't know, but I think you kind of have Canas under your wing. I like to call him your Padawan. Like you're training him. He's another young, fast guy that maybe a lot of people don't know, but he's really fast. And
yeah, he's super fast. I mean, he had problems in the semifinal in the Worlds, but he would be in the final easy. I mean, I like so much that kid's racing RC. I mean, I've been a lot of time with Davide also. We spent a lot of time together, and I went to his house to sleep so many days and so on. I mean, I feel super happy for him to get the Worlds for sure. I can't teach him now about what to do because he's fast enough to make it by himself. But for sure, when he was younger, we know together each other, we drive each other, we test so much, and I teach him so many things, and he even teach me so many things when he was young. So, and it's making similar things to Canas now.
Okay.
I mean, we don't drive the same tires now, so it's a little difficult about the setup because sometimes he needs a lot different things from me. But I'm learning so many things from him, and he's learning from me, I think. And the same happened to Davide. I mean, I like to help people. I like to help the kids. They're growing because we need kids, and we need people just racing and enjoying RC. So that's why I don't like this kind of things about the gyros and so on. You see, for example, the last weekend, the F1 finished, and on the last lap, just Hamilton and Vettel just went with Alonso to the straight all together, just making respect and so on. I mean, I'm not telling that to be the best friend with the people you're racing with, but at least to have respect and to work all together on the same way, just to make this RC world bigger and just to make it arriving to more people, not like now that we are not so much people.
I agree. What advice do you have for young drivers? How to reach the top? What would you tell a young driver right now?
To be patient. This is the first
Good answer.
First and biggest thing. I mean, I see a little bit on Canas on these walls. He was like, I want to be there, I want to be there, I want to be there. Just like you have to be patient. Your time will arrive for sure, but you have to just enjoy it. I mean, if you don't have passion and if you don't wait till your moment, you can finish like crazy. So it would be worse for you. So this is the first thing, like passion, and also from my point of view, just to finish school. So this is my first point. When I see a kid, it was like, you have to pass your exams or you will not be an RC. At least I will not help you. So
great advice, dude. Great advice. I love it. Vale.
Yeah.
All right. I have a couple questions about technical questions.
Yeah.
Do you do your own setup work or do you have a mechanic?
I do my own.
Okay.
I mean, since I've been so many years with Marky Bars from Modelix,
Right.
he helped me a lot also since we started, and even now, I mean, in the Worlds, he was close to me because he's helping Canas also. Even though we talk a little bit and so on, I think our relation is good and it's not bad. So we still talk and so on, but I know more or less what to do. For sure, I can be wrong sometimes,
Okay.
but I don't think it's going bad. I mean, I won quite a few races, so I think I can make a good setups and so on. So yes, I do by my own normally. I mean, on the walls, I also speak with Sanada-san and all Mugen guys just to make a proper setup. Because if one guy, I don't know, test one thing and send me like, oh, I test that one and it was so much better, so okay, I test also. So, but this is part of the team, so this is normal.
Yeah, that's good. You have really good feedback with all the Mugen guys. I remember at DNC, I saw the older Japanese guy there watching
Yeah.
every race.
Yeah.
You know,
They would just also all races in the world and so on.
do you share share a lot of information with the American drivers like Adam and Mayfield and Truey?
Yeah, I mean mainly with Adam when I'm at home through WhatsApp or whatever. If I find something, I just tell to him like, "Oh, I found this. Just test it there." Because also US tracks are quite different as Europe tracks.
Right.
So I'm going a different setup of them. It's just quite different. It's not similar. So sometimes it's better, sometimes not. But it's the setup I'm used to do it. I'm used to drive it. So on that thing, it's difficult to understand each other. But yeah, we talk about setups and so on.
Now, when you go to a race, what are one of the first changes that you make, or what are some of the regular changes that you will make to adjust your car to a different track?
I work quite on the shock oils to make it a little harder or softer. Also roll bars.
Yes, sway bars.
Yeah, sway bars I change quite often, mainly on front. Then also the rear anti-squat and the front keycap. That's the mainly things we do to adjust a little bit on the track.
Okay. All right. Do you use lap times or just more about feel for you?
When I'm at home, on my home track, lately it's more feeling.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know much the track to know if I'm going fast or not. When I'm racing on any track, like when I go DNC or whatever, time helps us a little bit. But mainly when I feel good, when I feel comfortable with the car, and when I can push, the times arrive. So it just we work more to make the car comfortable for my driving style than just focus on times.
Got you. Now, you've, like we touched on earlier, you've been known to come back from behind the pack and beat guys later on in the race. Do you kind of set your car up differently? Like, do you set your car up for the later part of the race and struggle through the first part? Or is it just, you're just better, period, in the later part of the race?
I always try to make the car comfortable for 1 hour. So it means that the first 10 to 20 minutes should be not the best car. But it happened always since July this year. On the Euros final and World final, it has been completely the opposite. But I mean, it's my first time in maybe 10 years that it happened this. So
Yeah,
it's just 2 races. I don't think for the next ones would be the same. So I think we'll be prepared again to make better races on the last 30 minutes.
I think if anybody wants to see a perfect example of that, they should watch the Montpellier race from this year when you came back.
Yeah.
And you was battling with Ronafalk and Davide, and I was
also Nia race from this year was good.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Way back.
It was crazy. Speaking of races, what race do you feel that you should have won that you didn't?
I don't know. I don't really know. I mean, I'm this kind of guy that thinks that if you didn't win, it was because you had not to win. So I don't know for sure. I'm fighting so much to try to win another Worlds. But about the races I made already, just for sure some of the Euros I made, I should win at least. From my point of view, I should win minimum 1 or 2 more.
Okay.
It has been so many Euros going first and broken a servo or rear arm or whatever. But this is racing. I mean,
Yep.
you can't win all. It's like Alonso on F1. Yeah, for sure, he would win like 2 or 3 Worlds more. But this is racing. That's happened, and the good thing is just to be on the top.
Yep.
That's the best thing. Just to be continue there and just to fight for the win year by year and step by step, and just not to give up and try to fight when the things goes bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes you harder, I think, and stronger.
Yeah, I agree. You got to push through the tough times, and a lot of people want to quit. Oh, I'm no good at this, so they quit, and that's why they're never successful. So I think that's what separates champions from fanboys. Who would you say is your toughest competitor over the years?
I don't know. Sincerely, it's so many years since I started, so it has been so many people super hard for me. But since I started, for example, early in the year, Savoia was super hard with me. We were fighting every race, every championship during like 3 or 4 years.
Yep.
Then it has been so many drivers, like, I don't know, I would say like mainly Europeans, because I drive much here, but it was like Savoia and also Tasman for sure in the Worlds and so on, and Ronefalk. And now, since last year, Ongaro is one of the hardest I ever had. So yeah, for sure I miss someone.
Yeah.
But it's like 18 years since I'm fighting for the top, so it's so many years and so many drivers just fighting everywhere. So
okay, awesome. Next topic I would like to talk about is something that I argue about a lot with people, and it's USA versus Europe right now. It seems that the Euro drivers just have the upper hand right now in 8 scale. Why is that? Why do you think that's happening now?
no, I don't know. I think it's the words I said you before about the time. I mean, like years ago, it seemed that US people were harder than us, but now it seems we are faster. But I don't really know if we are faster or not. It just, we are quite similar. I mean, we are like, I don't know, like Tasman and Mayfield, Davide, Ronefalk, let's say, I don't know, any of us, like Mayfield, Cavalieri, Rifkin. I mean, we are super close. We are not, I can say that one is better than the other one or whatever. It's just, and also on this kind of championship we have, then we don't have a proper championship. We just have events. And
yeah,
I would not say one is better than the other one. It's just different styles also. For sure, Europe is so much stronger than maybe US people expected.
Yes.
But I don't think we are better. I mean, we are equal. I mean, we are good drivers. We are the top 3 in Europe and top 3 in USA. I don't think any of us is better than the other one. It's just we would have better races than the other one, or maybe the other one's better than the other ones, but not say like, okay, we arrive, I don't know, let's say to the DNC 2019. Mm-hmm. Oh, Ongaro, Robert and Ronefalk are coming. Oh, for sure they will be top 3 because Europeans are better. No, right. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But
even if they come to Montpellier, I mean, this is one thing I would like. I mean, to get to have Tasman, Mayfield, Cavalieri, all the top guys in US to come to Europe to race on a Europe track.
It would be great.
Because it only happened in 2014 for the Worlds. Mayfield came 2 times on the Montpellier GP, but he didn't come again.
Yeah.
But some to some Europe races would be nice to have them, just
Yeah.
to show them, to see them here racing. Also, for the European people, likes to
Yeah, it would be
see
great.
these guys here also. So.
It would be great. I'm all for the best racing against each other more than once every 2 years.
Yeah,
I think the Montpellier track's a very difficult track.
yeah,
They
yeah.
were
This is super European track.
yeah, they say, oh, well, the Europeans they practice on these tracks all the time, and I don't think that I don't think like people think like the Neo race track was your backyard, and I'm like,
No,
I think it lives like really far away from it, like, you know.
I mean Montpellier, for example, Montpellier from my home, it's like 400 kilometers away.
Yeah,
And to Montpellier, I go once per year just for the
exactly.
races, just for the race. And near racetrack, the Redovan track, they are at 700 kilometers from my home.
exactly.
So it's not even close.
Yeah, and don't forget, fuel in Europe is like almost $8 a gallon, so or seven something a gallon, so it's not cheap. But do you think? I know like yourself, Ronafalk, Davide, you guys primarily drive 8 scale. Do you think that is another reason? Well, also, why don't you dabble more in 10 scale, or is it just that you think focusing on 8 scale makes you you're able to focus on that a lot better than dividing yourself up between a lot of classes?
I don't know. For sure, 1/8 off-road is one of the most difficult classes because of the tires and so on. It's just way more things to change that, for example, 1/10, which is control tires and so on. But I don't know, because in America, for example, many of us, they are racing quite a lot on 1/8 nitro. So I don't think this is one reason. But for sure in Europe, we don't have many races on 1/10, mainly in my home. We don't have even nationals, more or less, so I cannot drive much. Also, Mugen has no 1/10 car, so I mean, if I get I don't know, if I sign for any 1/10 brand, for sure I cannot drive much 1/10. I mean,
Right.
the most income is from Mugen, so I have to test Mugen. I'm almost all week racing on testing on 1/8, being, I don't know, like testing tires or engines or chassis or whatever. So I have not so much time to test more 1/10 or something. So I don't have indoor tracks, so it's quite different for me.
What would you say? I want your opinion on European versus U.S. tracks. Now that you've been to America a few more times, because the European tracks are starting to get a little bit more American style. Like Neo's got big races, big jumps. I've seen some.
Yeah, I mean nowadays it's not like a big difference between both styles. Even though for sure American tracks have still more jumps. I would say like it's a supercross. And we have more motocross, so it's just something similar. But from my point of view, European tracks, for me, it's more fun, more technical than America. But for example, the DNC track of last year, of this year, it was quite good. I mean, it was not 100% American from my point of view.
Okay.
And I had fun a lot. It's like Australia track. Australia track was good. I mean, it has few European corners, few US corners, few US jumps. So I don't know. It's good. I think it's good.
Okay, and races, European versus US races. What's your opinion?
Here I have to say that European races are a little better than world races, the US races. Mainly because, I mean, let's not misunderstand this. I mean, it's not because of the people or something like this. It's more about the schedule.
Yeah.
I think in Europe we have a schedule. If we drive on the heat 5, we know when it will be more or less, and we can organize and we can go whatever and come back and things like that. When you go to US races, at least the US races I went, it was like, okay, I'm on heat 48. Okay, when it drives, I don't know. It just maybe here or maybe 3 hours later.
Yeah.
So it just, this thing is the only thing I would change a little bit on the US races, just to have a proper schedule.
I think because US races are so dependent on a lot of entries, you know, 500, 600 entries and so many different classes as well.
Yeah,
So it's very difficult.
but even those you can have a proper schedule. It's not. I mean, it's not. I think it's not that problem.
Yeah. I always I've never been to a European race, but I watch a lot of RC Racing TV and I like the Biddy Design race. I really enjoy the Euros. And I think I always say to people, I feel that European races have more of a full scale race atmosphere, if that makes sense. Like people are picnicking, they're selling beer, you see people
I don't know about that. I mean, the
Really?
DNC, for example,
was great. Yes, obviously.
I like the atmosphere of there. I mean, the atmosphere is one of the best ever, I think.
Oh, I
mean,
enjoyed it.
atmosphere about the people and like everyone there with the tents and sleeping there and just all together and party and so on. I think there is one of the best atmosphere I've ever seen in a race.
It was wild. That was my first one. It was cold too. I didn't realize it was gonna be so cold, but I enjoyed it. But it was long as well. So
yeah, too much.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
But it's a great event. It's a reason. It's probably the I wouldn't say the number one race of the year for everybody. So I hope more Europeans come over this year to race it. To be honest, so
I don't know. I have this week or the other one. I have to speak with Mugen a little bit for the schedule of next year.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I know in January I'm going to Uruguay for a race.
Yeah, I saw that. Tico.
Yeah, Tico. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know that. I think maybe in 2 weeks I go to India. I'm still speaking with a guy.
Yes, the Tech Fest. I saw that too.
Yeah, and also then Montpellier for sure. And I have to check with Mugen guys if they want me to go to the dirt. I hope they send me because I want to go again.
Yes.
But it's it's everything about expenses and so on. But it's not the World's year, so maybe we will do it.
Okay, sounds good. So I think both races, European and US, have their positives and negatives. By the way, I hope to get to some European races here next year. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
RC now and then. What would you say is difference between an RC 15 years ago and now? What's changed? Driver levels?
I think maybe now, I mean, about professionality and so on, I think it's quite similar as before. Not a big difference. But now, for sure, there is more accessibility for the people. I mean, the people can arrive easier to the top guys.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I started, it was like almost impossible to know about the setups from the top guys or what they were using or all prototype parts and all neos and so on.
Yes.
Now for sure it's so much easier. I mean, anyone can come and ask me about what I'm using and help him and so on. I think before, like so many years ago, it was much difficult to get a top guy to help you and try to set up your car and know exactly what he was using.
Yeah. How do you feel about loyalty and being a professional now? Well, you just said being a professional is about the same.
Yeah.
And do you think that like driver levels, races, tracks, or cars, they have obviously changed?
I mean, now it's so much better than before about that. I mean, now it's more. Before it was more than like a endurance race.
Yes.
When you make a 1 hour race, it was like, whoa, 1 hour. Maybe I will flame out 3 times, or maybe my car will destroy in 30 minutes. And now it's more like a sprint race.
Yeah, man.
It's 1 hour, but if you take like the 5 minutes each, for sure we're making lap times from the qualifyings.
Yeah. People
so
would
now,
never
for
know.
example, you flame out once and you are done for sure.
Yeah.
Like 15 years ago, you flame out once and maybe you can't even win.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy, isn't it? People would never know. Like keeping your engine started for an entire main was like a victory back then. So
yeah, for sure.
It's awesome. All right. How about loyalty, man? Is that beneficial to success? Being loyal to your sponsors, to your company?
From my point of view, yes.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I told you. I had so many bad times those years, but I've never just broke any contract or whatever. I
That's-
mean, if I decide to go with one brand, I will go for sure.
Yes.
So I don't think to split or just to change or whatever is good for you, and even for, I mean, it's not good for any of the parts involved there. So
Yeah.
I mean, because you as a driver, you lose a little
Credibility.
bit of, yeah, you lose quite a lot from the brands because maybe they will not trust you,
Yes.
and you lose confidence with the people, and you lose everything.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's better to finish third, but with your brand you decided at the beginning, than not finish first, but just pushing with another brand which is not yours or whatever.
Great answer. Great answer. Okay, so we're almost finished with our topics here, but here's something that's been on everybody's mouth and been on everybody's mind, and it's been all over the internet for the last 6 months, I would say. RCGP, your thoughts?
As I told so many times, I mean, what I think is just we need this kind of things. I mean, we need RCGP series. We need a series like RCGP guys propose. But we need all brands to go together.
Yes.
I mean, it's no way to go some brands to RCGP, the other ones to another events, and so on. It just, we have to go together. It's more about brands. I mean, I can do nothing about it because I'm just a driver. I cannot say, Mugen, you have to do that, because it's not my company. But for sure, as a driver, we need that, and I think even for a company.
Yeah.
We need more spectators. We need to promote more. We need a proper championship. We need to people just follow us more.
Yeah.
So it makes more a desire to be part of it and to be with that team or with the other one and so on.
Yeah.
And it will mean more sales also. But it just step by step we need to make that all brands believe on the project. I know it's difficult because all brands are quite tight on the money and expensive.
Yes.
And expenses, but for sure we have to do that step if
I agree.
we want to go forward.
I think it brings a level of professionalism to RC that's needed.
Yeah.
I think it, like you said, all motorsports has a series: Formula One, a MotoGP, motocross. I don't know why we're any different. I want to see you guys battle it out more than once every 2 years. I think I love the worlds, and I think this is a great way to get this alongside maybe a real one-on-one motorsports event as well. You know, and that will be great for the hobby, and it helps bring more people in, and it makes RC more professional and much more cooler, in my opinion. So
yeah, I think same.
I think we need to, as manufacturers, work together to make it better for everybody. So
yeah,
the bigger the bigger the pie, the more everybody eats.
Yeah, for sure. That's sure.
So we kind of touched on this, but your future 2019 races, you're not too sure. You are going to Uruguay. We touched on you probably still only racing 8-scale buggy because that's your bread and butter.
Yeah.
Any sponsor changes at all for 2019?
I don't know yet. I mean, for sure, the main ones like Mugen, I will remain for sure. I mean, if maybe they fire me tomorrow, but no, that's
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I mean, as I told you, I feel more than good with them. I got so many offers from other brands, even giving me more money than Mugen, but I feel super good with them. As I told you, you never can say never, but right now I feel like my family. It's like 8 years since we are together, and I feel more than proud of them, and I can say any bad word about their job and their racing scene. So I think it's one of the best brands.
Yes.
Then about tires, I will continue with Hot Race for sure. We started the project at the beginning of the year. We knew it would be a difficult project,
Yes.
even though we had a super successful year, I think. I mean, we were in the Euros final, we were in the Worlds final. We almost won DNC, we won Nia race, we won Montpellier. I mean, we won so many races, and I think we have to be proud of it. I mean, we are a super small company. For sure, we can do better. We are already making better. We have new compounds. We have new things for the next year. It will coming up soon, and I'm super sure that we will be on the same level and as the American brands in not so much time.
Yeah. Nicola, I met him at DNC. He's young. He's hungry. He's got the
Yeah.
passion, and I like any small company that's trying to forge their way
Yeah,
in this
we are
hard
working.
industry.
I would say we are working almost every week on the new things.
Yeah.
We are always thinking to make new designs, new compounds, new everything.
Yep.
So we don't stop. We all both we have also the same mentality thing. We have almost the same age, so maybe it helps also. So we like to win, and we go to all races to win and to get better products and to make the people happy with us. So we all team like Garufalo and Joao Figueiredo, all of us, we are working super hard to make a good products for all people.
Yeah, I think he's definitely got some good drivers in his stable.
Yeah.
I'm guessing I don't know, but I'm guessing maybe he'll get a US driver here soon. I don't know what it's gonna take.
We are working on.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
sure.
I can't say who. It's Nicola who has to say.
Yeah.
But we're talking with a few guys, and any of them,
Yeah, you got
they are
good
super
guys
good.
over there. TJ Bradley, who's representing you guys, he's a good guy. I met him at AMS.
Yeah.
So I like it. I love it. So I think I
Yeah.
think you guys are going about it the right way. Nicola's super smart. I like it. I like the passion. So what's up, Robert? We got this new segment that we just started. It's called the Fast Race 10 Questions in 10 Seconds. And I have to I have to just introduce this in, and basically what I'm gonna do is ask you 10 questions and you gotta answer them like with one word or whatever first thing that comes to your mind. No real thinking.
Okay.
So let me just get into this. We have the Fast Race 10 Questions in 10 Seconds segment. Fast Race is a World Champion option parts brand made in Italy. Fast Race drivers include Davide Ongaro and Riccardo Berton, and they run innovative performance-enhancing parts that Fast Race makes for most 8-scale buggies, including the world-famous honeycomb shock bladders and caps. So go to fastraceshop.com, type in all caps Lefty 2019 to get 15% off your purchase now. All right. You ready, Robert?
Yeah.
You're up?
Yeah.
You ready? All right. Question number 1. How was Australia in 3 words?
Nice, good weather, and super funny people.
Okay. Number 2. Who would you rather beat you, David Ronnefalk or Renault Savoya?
Savoya.
Savoya. Who is the most fun to watch? Who is the most fun for you to watch at the track?
Ongaro.
Ongaro.
Yeah.
Who was your RC hero growing up?
Now?
Or growing up when you was Tahoven?
I love so much Mark Ibars.
Mark
He was
Pavidas?
No, Mark Ibars.
Mark
The
Ibas.
one from
Okay.
Modelics. Yeah, he
Yes,
was
yes.
my hero when I was young. So.
Okay, awesome. Your go-to hot race tread and compound.
My sorry? I
Your-
didn't hear.
Your go-to hot race and tread compound. Like what tire do you go to in hot race and compound? What's your favorite tire?
I'm Alaska medium, I would say now.
Excuse me?
Alaska medium, I would say now.
Alaska medium now.
Yeah.
Your favorite country other than Spain?
Italy.
Italy. If you didn't race RC, what would you be doing?
I would love to race real cars, big cars.
All right. Number 8. One race you want to attend before you retire from RC.
I drove all. I don't know, but some 1/10 walls I would do.
What was that? Sorry?
Some 1/10 walls I would
Okay,
do.
1/10 worlds.
Yeah.
Number 9. First change you make to your car at a track.
Sway bars.
Sway bars. Finally, number 10. F1 or MotoGP?
F1.
F1. Well, thank you, Fast Race, for bringing that segment. Remember, go to fastraceshop.com, type in all caps Lefty 2019, and get 15% off. Well, Robert, I want to thank you for your time. We did have like 1 or 2 questions. I'm looking for one now from some viewers.
Yeah.
One guy was asking about, he was watching the 2012 Worlds. And he was like, the track was so smooth, and then by the end it was so rough, and so, you know, which it was. He wanted to know, how do you prepare for that? Like when you go from transitioning from a very smooth, nicely groomed track to something that's so rough, like what it was in 2012 in Argentina.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm a kind of driver that I like so much, that kind of difficult tracks and bumpy and so on. Mm-hmm. But mainly what you have to work on is just on shocks so much, and also a little bit on tires to learn to have so much side bite.
Okay.
But I mean, this kind of tracks, I love it, like, I don't know, like Argentina or Las Vegas or last Euros, for example, in Sweden in 2017. This kind of tracks that you have to be super precise, I like so much.
Yeah. Okay. I actually can't find the other question that the guy wrote, so we're just gonna leave it. But, you know, mucho gracias for your time, and I look forward. Hopefully, I'll be at DNC. Hopefully, you'll be there, and have fun in Uruguay. That track's all brick.
Yes, it.
It's crazy. We have a guy down there that drives JQ, and I've watched lots of videos of it, so should be interesting. And Uruguay is a nice place, so.
Yeah, I like so much South America. Yeah, I love like Argentina and Uruguay and so on.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to go there again.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun in Argentina with Joseph last year, and South America period. So it should be fun.
But, yeah, hope so.
Pero está bien. Pasa buenas tardes, and
same to you.
Thank you very much for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Welcome. Yeah, thank you so much to you, and good podcast.
Está bien. Gracias. And that concludes our episode for tonight. Episode 5 of the No Name RC podcast. Legends of RC, Robert Batlle in the books. Thank you, Robert, for coming on. It's greatly appreciated. If you guys like this podcast, like what we're doing, enjoy it, please go to our Facebook and like and share. We're almost at 1,000 likes, and we would like to get there before Christmas. Also, follow us on Instagram at hashtag the No Name RC podcast, as well as on Twitter. With that said, thanks to Fast Race Shop for being our first sponsor and coming on and sponsoring the 10 questions, 10 seconds segment. Remember, go to fastraceshop.com, enter in the code Lefty2019 in all capital letters, and get 15% off your purchase. And lastly, thank you to our Patreon supporters. I hope you enjoyed getting early access to this podcast. Looking forward to 2019 so we could get some No Name RC podcast swag and other good things to give away to you. So if you want to be a part of that, you want to be eligible for the giveaways, eligible for the early access to our podcast, go support us on Patreon. Every little bit helps, and we greatly appreciate it. With that said, when I get back from Fall Brawl next week, I'll be working on the following week's podcast. So I'm looking forward to that. And I don't know who our guest is going to be, but I'm going to try and get somebody interesting on, and we can talk about RC. With that said, keep on racing, keep having fun. Talk to you guys later. Lefty's out.
Thank you for listening to the No Name RC podcast. Please tune in next time for more fresh RC content. And if you can, please also support us on patreon.com/The Quay Grain. We will greatly appreciate it. And don't forget, Nitro is the glory.